We're back and welcome back here as we are getting set for another Saturday night here at Woodbine Mohawk Park. We've got 13 races yet again this evening. A lot of stakes events that we've got on tap tonight, including a couple of finals here the Peaceful Way as well as the William Wellwood Memorial. And to join me like he did last time, like he has been over the course of the last couple of months, the Hall of Famer Randy Waples. And if we were excited last night, we're going to be even more pumped up about tonight.
Yeah, we got some serious racing going on tonight, but I don't know about you, but I had trouble sleeping last night there listening to the Chad call that sub 50 trotting mile.
It's pretty incredible, right? I mean, we were touching on it, before coming on air. Chad getting the opportunity to call some pretty big moments for him, right? I mean, his first North America Cup in what was a thrilling edition with Lupin and Madden Oaks going neck and neck there for the wire. And then he's the only announcer to call a sub 50 mile in Canadian harness racing history on the trotting side. I mean, it's a special feat for him.
Yeah, it is. And you know what's funny is Chad, like, he is a very good at calling. You'll hear him come on and say, we got to check that quarter. He's very good at seeing speed, like from up top there. And I was talking to him earlier tonight when he came in there, and I said to him, I never had any idea whatsoever that they were traveling that fast. I was charting it or whatever, and then I heard him say 122 and change, and I'm like, what? And because it didn't seem like they were moving at all. And then I asked him, and he said the same thing. He said he was actually surprised that they were moving that fast, because it just didn't look like it. That horse was he just has a unique way of going. You don't see the speed. It's there, but you don't really see it.
I'll be honest, it didn't even occur to me that it was the first, sub 50 mile until you jumped up and kind of said, we just witnessed history, John. We just witnessed history. And,
I was shocked.
And Chad obviously, mentioning it after the call. I mean, it was just 9 years old. 8 Kronos to get the job done there. Something we're going to remember as well. And hopefully we can have some more memorable moments over the next coming weeks here as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping so as well. But, that's one way to start off the Grand Circuit meet with a Canadian track record.
Dexter Dunn, obviously the all-time speed record with Bulldog Hanover, doing the Canadian track record here with 8 Kronos.
He's the speed man.
He makes speed.
He does. Yeah. He is. He's the double D of speed.
Absolutely. And, speaking of last night, we'll recap some of the track plays that we saw from last night's action as well. Chart more or less going to look kind of the same as well, but we spoke about tonight and the opportunity about all these stakes events. Some good opportunities on the wagering side as well. HPI bet to opt in for 5 times the points to get underway here for this Wellwood Memorial bonus and draw here that we have, that promotion that they offer on HPI bet. So make sure you opt in, and you're going to earn 5 times the points on all eligible wagering over $50 or more. So you're going to earn some ballots as well for a chance to win a dinner as well here at Woodbine Mohawk Park on Mohawk Million Night. So another nice night of racing. Free dinner. I'm not going to say no to that, especially when you get to watch some of the biggest stars compete on this circuit.
Absolutely. It's going to be an incredible night. And, the William Wellwood Memorial, this is a fairly new stake race.
Yep.
This hasn't been around a long time. Has already became one of the top 2-year-old trotting events, and he deserves it.
Yeah.
Great North American horseman with William Wellwood.
All right, so a night that we're going to have fun covering, a night that we're going to have fun watching as well. And again, don't forget to opt in, otherwise you don't become eligible. So click that opt in button and then you will be good to go. All right, so now we'll get to the track plays and kind of touch on what we saw last night. Of course, some great action, but more or less that chart's going to look similar for a handful of these races. But we do see, for the first time, we see some 6 and 7s, more than a few. On this page as well, which is not something we've been accustomed to seeing. And I thought there would be even more 1s and 2s on this graphic, Randy, because it was an elimination setting, and that's typically what we've seen over the last few years, I'd say.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But this is a little bit better in here tonight, I'm trying to think that there really wasn't. The track was just as fast last night as it has been, obviously. Trotter winning in 49. Wasn't much wind.
No.
Last night. Maybe that might be a part of the key to this whole situation here too, is, doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of wind tonight either. And whatever is there, it's just more of a strong kind of a breeze. So maybe maybe with the less windy conditions, they're able to come from a little further back.
Yeah, we saw some quick miles early too, right? At times, I should say early on in the mile from some of these horses. They were jetting out of there and they were kind of already revved up and just generating some speed to the half. And that's kind of what resulted in maybe some Closers also getting the job done. But there's a look at the track plays from last night. As always, we'll look at that graphic on Monday to see how tonight's program kind of shapes out and how the trip scenarios map out. But we're going to get into covering and kind of analyzing the action that takes place this evening. We're going to start off in race number 2, and this is the first of a handful of stakes events here on this program, and we're going to get another chance to look at this undefeated son of Cattle Wash. The Doc Moore trainee, Bo Jangles, looked perfect so far, Randy, but as well as he's been, I mean, you could see by the lines, you could see by his body language. There's another colt in here. A colt or two have been putting forth some pretty good efforts. One that you'd love to highlight as well in this start.
Yeah, Bo Jangles, where did you go?
Tough to go against him.
Yeah, so I went with him as well. 1 to 5 morning line, it just kind of, you search, but there's, I don't see anybody in here that I would say, hey, play this one. I think he beat him. But I do have what I would consider to be a colt that has showed me really, really big time ability. So if there was somebody to take him down and his name isn't call sign Rooster, I think it could be Redland Rocket Man. I like that name, Redland Rocket Man. So let's take a look at the replay on this Redland Rocket Land. Now, this was August the 14th, so he's been on a good rotation, and you can see that this is a horse that's, he's been firing right since he's came out for John Pentland, Murray Cox, and Gary Volpe. 5 starts so far this year, 3 times a winner, and 1 time in 52 flat. Now, this one, he's not going to get the job done. But I think that if he'd have found the room, he might have. So you can see Louis, sitting fourth with this guy right now. And he's going to end up pacing a last quarter in 26 flat. And, again, he's not really a big threat for the 2 up here, but he does have some serious go for the rest of them. So that's the route that I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go Bo Jangles onto Redland Rocket Man, hoping that, he can come up with another big one. Very, very fast kind of a colt.
Really fast, and again, another covered up effort there, and a colt who finished up really strong. I mean, got a chance to speak with John Pentland, and a couple starts ago, and they made that bridle change as well, and he just said he's a little bit keyed up, a little bit warm. So I think, we kind of talked about it when Louis got a chance to sit behind him from the outside a few starts ago. He did a really nice job just keeping him quiet, and he responded with such a nice finish. This is a really fast colt. This colt has done some good things, but it's tough when you're competing against a colt who right now has shown some big-time talent early on, but take no credit away from Redland Rocket Man, the son of Bulldog Hanover. He's really put forth some good efforts start after start.
It's amazing, too, because, with Bo Jangles, Doc Moore, and I'm not 100% No, he did win it once. He won the Metro with Stock A. Mm-hmm. He might be looking at his second Metro winner with this guy.
You have to think. I mean, all signs are pointing towards that, but it's a pretty nice group of rookie pacers that we have, but I think right now he does look like the one to be. He stands out right now as well. So we'll get a chance to watch Bo Jangles put his undefeated streak on the line in his early career in race number 2, and that'll be the Nassagaweya. But we're going to move on to race number 3. No stakes action here. We're going to look to an overnight event here. We've got a full field of 10, and we kind of alluded to it last night. You and I opting to go with the same top selection here in this spot. Louis Waugh opting to go this direction as well over a horse that he just won with the week prior, and that's going to be Nautical Hanover. I think there's a lot of positives with this guy going into tonight.
Totally agree with you. And I mean, the selling point, we both liked the way he raced his last start. We both knew that, he's been sitting on good efforts since he's come back to the circuit. He's been racing very, very well, but each week he races, he gets a little bit better and a little bit better. But the selling point to me was what John just said. Louis Waugh could have come right back with Mayhem Hanover. Wire-to-wire victory in his last one there, 1:50. Bookended at almost bookended at 27-4 out, 27-2 on the end of it. But he elects to go to Nautical Hanover. So let's take a look at the last race of Nautical Hanover, and we'll see if this race does as much for you guys out there as what it did for me and John in here. So, it's funny too, John, because remember we were talking about Nautical Hanover too, and we said that at one time he could sit last and come up vicious on the end of it. And last week, this is what we're going to see. Him sitting way, way back, and then here he comes on the outside, this guy. or I mean up the inside, excuse me, up the inside, and here he comes for JR. Now JR starts to kind of, he's looking, and he more or less has to stop it here because there's just a wall of horses in front of him, but at all points he was still moving forward. Much better position to work with tonight, and I think that Louis Waugh, is picking himself up a really, really live drive, and the last time Louis raced this horse, he didn't mind pointing him out of there, and if that's his decision tonight, boy, I mean, what a time to do it after a nice, easy trip in his last one. Get the middle of the gate. Maybe we can roll him back out of there again tonight and come up with a big effort. So, Nautical Hanover.
Yeah, and he's opting to go that direction again over a barn that he drives a lot for, right? I mean, some really, some top quality horses. So, Louis must really like Nautical Hanover in this spot again. And to your point, he raced really well for him 2 starts back. Tarquinius Hanover was just large in victory that night, but this was a guy who made a couple of moves in that effort only to miss out by half a length. So I think that effort last time out, that nice easy mile where he just finished up strong, to your point, I agree with you. I think he's ready for a bigger performance tonight, and I'm hoping that's the case.
And I think, too, that if he didn't have that wall of horses in front of him, he finishes even closer.
Yep, absolutely there. Yeah. So there's a look at race number 3. Randy and I are going to be going in the direction of Nautical Hanover, hoping that he can get the job done there. We're going to move on to race number 4, and we're going to continue some stakes events here. We've got the Eternal Cam Nation here for 2-year-old pacing fillies. We've got a field of 6. I think all eyes, not all eyes, I should say. I think a lot of eyes are going to be on Dea. Look, maybe this is a great bounce back opportunity for her. Went to the lead last time out and just kind of faltered. She never really had her best showing last time out off a dominant mile at Grand River in the Battle of the Bells finals. But I think there's a couple other fillies in here coming off some good efforts. And the one next door to her, this one's got some late go, Randy, and I think that's one that intrigues you quite a bit in here, I assume.
Naughty Delight? Yeah. Man, that's the way you went?
I went there. I'm hoping for a bounce back performance from her. I don't want to give up on this filly just yet, but I tell you what, this Tony Beaton trainee, she seems to be getting better each and every start.
Yeah, what's really interesting about her is I got her good on end in that last gold try there. I mean, you can obviously see that. Look at the last 3 quarters that she paced, and then the last quarter in 26 seconds for an overall mile of 50-4. And I'm not done yet. The other thing that you really got to like about her was that August the 14th, her race before that, July the 18th, John, had missed a start going into that. Now, August the 14th, she's got one of the best dates in this race. I'm going to take a chance and put her up on top and hope that she's even a little bit better tonight, and we're staying with J-Mac.
And we're going to get a chance to see that effort last time out as well because, again, there were some good fillies in this group, and I think she's proven herself to be a pretty good filly herself. And let's just take a look, Randy, about what you see here in this effort and how well
her stride is what gets me. She's got a really, really big, clean, kind of ground-eating kind of a stride. Now, she's always got her head cocked a little bit sideways, but it doesn't really bother me that much. I used to drive a horse for my father called Fandango Hanover. He used to basically turn around and look at me in the race bike. So this doesn't really bother me, and as long as they're not putting in steps and they're moving forward, and she's doing it right there. She's got deep on the end of it. Short field to work with there. Like I said, in that race, that was almost a month in between starts for her. There's no way that she could have been at her absolute best. But this week, she's going to, the date is a lot better. So I think that she can be even better this week. And if she can come back half in 53-4 and pace into a mile in 50-4, then she's my girl. So Naughty Delight is the way I'm going to go.
Looks like the steering's a little bit better from earlier on, too. I remember her watching her qualifying tries.
Always a little crooked.
And the first start, we saw that as well. But she seems to be getting better. And, I mean, if she can just stay straight consistently, again, that turn of foot is wicked. So this is a really talented filly. Again, I think it's a 2-horse affair between her and Dea. I got a chance to speak to Jack Darling as well regarding his filly, and last time out I think we expected a much better performance from her. She faded to 5th, but she was a bit rambunctious in that paddock. So I got some comments from Jack Darling. I mean, for me, I haven't been around paddocks as long as so many people here, obviously, but she was acting out of sorts, and Jack said that she got a little bit spooked. Something spooked her in the paddock, and she was out of sorts. He says she tends to be a little bit keyed up in post parade, but he expected a little bit of probably her finishing better. He said he scoped her. She said she came out clean. So I said she had a great weekend, hoping that she can put forth the bounce back effort. But he acknowledges it's tough sometimes, obviously, because you're racing some talented horses and you're going quick miles early on, but that's just the talent field that you've got to work with this provincially here, right? I mean, look at a Clean Deal. Dea's gotten some big performances. This is a talented group of fillies that we have here. And when you're jostling those big miles sometime, I think you're susceptible to, just a lackluster performance. But he's hoping that his filly can bounce back with a good effort. And he says all signs are pointing towards one tonight.
Yeah, and another thing, too, you always got to remember, too, like, I mean, they're horses, but
Yep.
they're also human. They really, truly are. So you think to yourself, too, when you're young and you tire yourself out, is there a chance that maybe you could pick up a cold and not know really where it came from? And sometimes I think that's what happens with these.
Yep.
They can pick up a little bit of a virus somewhere because they're a little bit tired. They've been doing some racing. The heat that we've had in the last few weeks has just been horrible for horses. I mean, most of them are in a barn, and even if you go to turn them out, you can't really use it that much through the afternoon because it's too hot. So, sometimes I think that we don't give them enough credit. I'm myself, I'm going to throw Day in for third. I'm going to throw Fabulous Hanover in for second. And the big reason why, John, is because I just find that a lot of times when Nancy Tactor, she'll bring a horse up here that hasn't quite won at the Meadowlands, then they come here and they fire first time out. So I'm going to throw this one, Fabulous Hanover, in for a part, but Naughty Delight is the way I'm going.
And to your point about obviously, horses, just they're humans. I mean, they're flesh and blood as well. I mean, that, something that spooks a horse in the paddock, for example, one week, can that carry over for the weeks prior and just kind of be stuck in their head potentially as
sometimes,
well?
Yeah, sometimes it does, I mean, it can be the slightest little thing. Sometimes you can go out and jog a horse and they'll go by the same, the same track over and over and over and over again. And then somebody takes a stick and puts it where it wasn't before. That horse will see that stick, and then he will look at that stick every time he goes by. Like they're creatures of habit.
Yep. All right, nice group there, a nice group of fillies there in the Eternal Cam Nation. All eyes going to be pointed towards Dea and Naughty Delight, who are installed as the first and second choice on the morning line. More stakes actions as we close out this early pick 5, and we spoke about the Canadian Pacing Derby eliminations over the last couple of nights, and here it is again, the first elimination here. And the 9-5 morning line favorite is going to be Sabonis, and deserving of that honor because he's coming off a sharp effort in the Dan Patch at Hoosier Park. One who got invited to that stakes event. He made the most of it. And they decided, you know what, let's supplement him to this Canadian Pacing Derby. And why not? This guy's been razor sharp. Really has had a remarkable career. But, obviously having success here in Brett Pelling's barn here as an aged horse, and one that's going to merit a lot of respect. But it's another sharp horse here locally that we've seen by the name of Irvin Hanover. And for me, I think he's peaking at the right time, and I elected to go that direction. What about you?
I went Irvin as well. Now, who'd you throw in for second?
So I did use Sabonis for second.
Okay, I agree. Now, it was a horrible decision for me between 6 and 7. What put you over the edge? Just because you think Irvin's coming into he's peaking?
Yeah, he's peaking, and his wins have come on Canadian soil, right? I mean, all 4 of his victories this year, they've come here locally. Just looks like he's got that quick turn of foot like he did last time out. For whatever reason, he was racing well at the Meadowlands, even a couple of those off-the-pace tries. Never looked like he was, gaining racetrack in those efforts, but how about that effort last time out and the start prior? To me, he's back.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so let's take a look at Irvin Hanover's last preferred win for Tyler Borth, picking up Louis Watt tonight. Now, I'm the same, John. I mean, you know how I feel about Brett Pelling. He's one of my guys, I mean, he is incredible to talk to and everything else, and he's doing an incredible job with this guy, too. I went Irvin Hanover, and this is the reason why I went there. I mean, I agree with you. I think that this horse is starting to peak, and Louis always got along quite well with him too. So we're not going to a driver that's strange with the horse. He knows the horse. But Sabonis, John, he races in the McKee Memorial at the Meadowlands on August the 2nd, comes up with a big effort, then trucks all the way out to Indiana and races there 6 days later in the Dan Patch as a winner there. And now he's made his way back here to Canada, probably via New Jersey would be my guess. I'm guessing that he probably went Indiana, New Jersey, now here. That's a lot of shipping for any horse. So I'm going to take a chance and hope that maybe the shipping is going to maybe tire him out a little bit, where Irvin Hanover, like John says, he lives in Canada. He lives 20 minutes away from this racetrack, so it's not a big ship. He hasn't had to be shipping around or doing a whole lot. So Irvin on to Sabonis is the way that I'm going. But boy, you could really go either way on this too. You wonder how, again, he's raced some big miles week in and week out. Just about every one of his starts this year has been tough. This is a pretty gutsy racehorse, Sabonis, and he can do it. So many first over trips this year already, and he's had 8 starts, and a handful of them have been of the first over variety. So just hoping that maybe Irvin can be a little bit more fresh and build off it. But
Dave let out the hopples last time out as well, and I'm not sure if that maybe gave him a little bit more speed, but didn't hurt him whatsoever.
No. And just quickly before we do move on there, how much do you get a kick out of talking horse with Brett Pelling?
Oh, he's the best.
Isn't that amazing?
He learns so much in such a short period of time. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Like you say, he speaks horse. Right?
Oh, unbelievable.
Just incredible.
If you ever get a chance, man, this is the guy. You want to go ask him about your horse. Your horse is underperforming. I'm sure that he's very approachable. A lot of people don't think he is. At one time, I didn't think he was. He's very approachable, and he's smart. Whoa. Super
approachable guy.
Yeah.
He loves to talk horses. It's not a burden if you chat horses with him. He loves it. So, best of luck to Brett Pelling here in Sabonis. Again, a horse that's going to merit a lot of respect here in Canadian Pacing Derby Elimination number 1. We're going to continue on with the stakes action. Like I said, we've got plenty of it tonight, Randy. The Nassagaweya, another division here, and we're going to look at Sweet Love and Lou. All eyes are going to be on this colt. 6-5 morning line favorite. He's perfect himself as well, and a measured win last time out, but nobody was ever going by him in that outing.
No, there's 2 drivers right now. You asked Bobby about Bojangles, and he gets a little silly, happy silly. And James is the same way with this guy. He's pretty happy with the way that this guy is progressing along. And if I was James or the Legacies, I'd be pretty happy with him as well. I like the fact that he's, the way that he's racing. And what I really like about him is that I think that he can probably race quite easily both ways. And if he's able to do what he's doing right now on front end missions, I say the first time that he follows a helmet, he is really going to pull something off. I don't think at any point there was this horse ever going to reach to him. If they could have went around another 2 times and it wasn't going to matter. So Sweet Love and Lou on to Dad is the way that I'm going to go.
You know what? For me, I'm just curious to hear about the maturity of this colt as well, because he looked a little bit hot, a little bit revved up early on. I know he was able to get the job done off the pace, convincingly 2 starts back. I think an effort like that really helps when you got all that movement up front. You're able to kind of sit back and watch the action unfold and just take your shot late, because it just helps with the mannerisms as well with the colt. But that was a pretty big middle half that he paced last time out. And maybe that last quarter's not as flashy as some other colts that we've seen. But again, to your point, he was never getting past in that outing. So this guy's got some grit, and James opting to book off Borderline Mobby, who's raced really well this year. He's a provincial horse too, so you have to figure James really feels like he's got a big opportunity to do some pretty good things with this Dan Legacy trainee.
Yeah, and he can take matters into his own hands. We like that.
All right, we're going to move on to race number 7, more stakes action here, and we've got one of these 2 lucrative finals here in Peaceful Way final here for 2-year-old trotting fillies. We've got a field of 11 in this spot. All eyes are going to be on the 9-horse One Bell, who is also looking to remain perfect in her young career. And perfect is just the way I can describe this Al Lipfeld homebred, because this filly, she does everything right, Randy.
Yeah, and, started it off. Got to give Matt Bax big props, because we know what she's capable of. And look at the way he qualified her the first time. And, didn't do a whole lot. Set her up for what she's doing now. So let's take a look at the August 5th line for One Bell, right out of the 8-hole in the final of the Pure Ivory. James makes a little quick pit stop at the quarter pole, lands 4th, and then removes her back to the front. And, there's some pretty nice horses that she's going to be beating in here. When You Wish Upon a Star Deo is going to make a big effort on the outside for Susie Kerwood and Tyler Borth, and she's going to fall short. And unfortunately for her, she is going to draw the 10-hole, but it wouldn't have mattered. This one was the best, and it was going to be a long time before they were going to catch One Bell. So that's the way that I'm going to go. But my goodness, it's so hard for me to pick against Bingo Night right now. It's a really nice feel-good story with Tyler and his dad having this really, really nice 3-year-old trotting filly. So I hope that they are able to come up with a big effort in here tonight. And maybe, who knows, maybe they'll change or turn the tables on One Bell, because I have her in for second, but it was really, really tough to go against Bingo Night with the way that she's been racing as well.
Yeah, and Calix obviously coming off a pretty good effort. I got a chance to catch up with trainer Sean Stacey as well, and he said the change to aluminums for this filly really helped her last time out. Her elbows were touching. She seems to have been garnering a lot of confidence start after start, and he feels like his filly's coming into this race sharp. Had a great week of training as well. It's hard to dispute that, because she was one in that prep race last week who was moving very, very well up the inside.
Up the inside. You're 100%, John. That's what I got her too. Great up the inside. She had huge go up the inside. Maybe I should have showed you that replay instead, because as John said, she was flashing some serious git up the inside.
And Sean says mentally like a little bit green, but she's got a trying attitude, and I think that perfectly sums it up because she wanted to keep going forward, up that inside lane last time out. There's our thoughts on the Peaceful Way final. We're going to move on to race number 8, and we're going to look at Canadian Pacing Derby Elimination number 2, and we've got a field of 8 here, and just a really talented group of aged pacers here, Randy. You've got Coach Stefanos going to be reacquainted with James McDonald. We know the success he's had with the son of Tell It Like It Is. By the Missile, he's got all the talent in the world when he can piece it together. But Captain Luke also from the inside, he's a little bit intriguing because he picked up Dexter Dunn 2 starts ago, and Dexter engineered a perfect trip, and it was a winning trip, no less.
Absolutely. Do we know any Captain Lukes?
We know one who, mans the ship here.
Yeah,
I'd
he's a pretty
say.
good captain.
I'd say he keeps us in line.
That's right. There you go. Okay, so I mean, this is the way that we're going to go. August the 8th, Captain Luke. Another one. August the 2nd was raced in the McKee Memorial. Come up with a very, very nice win in there for who? Some guy named Dexter Dunn. Then 6 days later, he's out in Hoosier Park as well, finishes 4th, a nice locked-in 4th in there for Todd McCarthy. Good movement in there. Now he comes back here again, and who's he going to pick up? Some guy named Dexter Dunn. So Captain Luke is going to be the way that I'm going to go. And like I said, you can see this guy on the inside, you know what I mean? Nice, easy kind of a trip for him. I mean, not raging over horses, but certainly not backing away from them either. So Dexter Dunn and Captain Luke is the way that I'm going to go. And By the Missile, going to throw him in for the deuce.
And the horse on the outside flying late, that was By the Missile, who Chris Page was sitting behind him, who knows that horse very, very well. And I think that was a really nice, mile for him to finish up as well as he did. Again, the biggest mystery is this guy because I think he's got the talent to trounce this field when he's at his best. But we just haven't seen that consistency being put into play over the last year or so. But the talent's there, and maybe off that effort last time out at Hoosier Park, maybe that's an indication that he's sitting on a pretty big mile here tonight. He's going to be my top pick in this spot. I'm hoping that he can carry it forward.
Should is it more props for us, the fact that Dexter chose against the Buckabed Hanover? Because this is a horse that he sticks pretty close to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some big things they did last year, right? I mean, they've won some big races. They had a lot of success together, but it seems like Captain Luke right now, it seems like this Andrew Harris trainee is just a little bit sharper. I got a chance to speak with Andrew as well. I mean, just Buckabed Hanover just dealing with some minor complications as well, just trying to, work through it a little bit. But, got that win a few starts back. Yannick Gingras was able to engineer a perfect drive, and that was his kind of trip for a Buckabed Hanover. So if he gets a pretty good trip here again tonight, he's one that merits a lot of respect late in the mile. But Captain Luke, a horse with always so much talent, but when you jostle against some of those colts that he's been jostling against at 2 and 3, it's tough to get yourself to the winner's circle because we've had a pretty deep group over the last couple of years as well.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Sometimes that's what happened. A lot of them top 3-year-olds go to stud. Then the ones that couldn't beat them, they now become the top horses.
All right, we're going to move on to race number 9, and we've got another division of the Eternal Cam Nation. We've got a field of 7, and the 9 to 5 morning line favorite is going to be the 6-horse Jen Tilly. This Scott McEnany trainee here is coming off a pretty good second place effort to a clean deal in that most recent gold at a big number. You and I are going to try and go different directions to maybe try and beat her, but you're going to go price shopping with a filly who you loved last time out, and you're hoping that she can keep the momentum going here.
What did you think of her last time out?
It's a really good effort.
Yeah,
really
I think so too. I think that she fits here. We haven't seen much of Sangria Summer. I certainly do think that she fits here. Number one, the barn that she comes out of. I've drove for these people. We've seen them around here for years. They do such an incredible job with their horses. 2 starts down, she was just in a spot where Trevor wasn't able to get her through. In a couple of those races, she took some interference bad, but always had go. And there was absolutely no chance that Trevor was going to get locked in this one. He was on the go early, and I just love everything about her. She's a captain treacherous, so yeah, a little bit of laziness. Every time he gives her a little tap, she moves away from the field. I think that she was playing a little bit of possum in that field. I think she's in really, really tough in this race, but she's going to be the girl that I go to. Absolutely love the way that she performed in her last 2.
Yeah, August 8th, that was the indication that she was sitting on that kind of mile, right? I mean, just kind of tight in between rivals there. Never really got a seam in the mile. Obviously just a tough trip.
I think she hook wheels with Mike Whalens.
Was never going to get there anyways at that point because there was too much traffic in front of her. But Trevor said, I'm not going to worry about traffic troubles next week. And she was able to go make an aggressive bid to the lead and get the job done. Adina Hanover, one that I'm intrigued with in this spot. She's coming off some tries in the When You Wish Upon a Star, those stakes events. Consistent on the board finisher. Sean Stacey's confident that this filly's sitting on a really big effort. Just said small filly. Has gone first over in some of those attempts, Randy, and just not her trip. But we've seen her, the speed that she has. I mean, when she can roar off cover or get a clean trip, this filly's got wicked speed. And, he said that they got a schooling mile into her leading up to this race here tonight. And he said that she did everything really, she did everything that they wanted of her and did it professionally. So they're hoping for a pretty big effort here tonight. They're expecting one, I should say. So music to my ears, my top selection that I'm going to hope that, she can piece it all together tonight.
We got the battle of the Captain Treacherous.
I would say that as well. Both coming off some good efforts as well. So we're going to try and go, price shopping and try and beat the one, the Gentilly. One who definitely will be tough if she's on her game. We're going to move on to race number 10 here, and this is another one of our featured events here this evening, the William Wellwood Memorial Final, and we've got a field of 10 here. So many of these colts, they've put forth some pretty good efforts. As you can see, we have 11 on the screen, but that's the also eligible. He is scratched out of this contest. So some nice colts that we've got here, Randy. Really, really nice colts. I mean, where do you start? Magic Punk, really good elimination victory. Cambridge, good in defeat. Ardon, I should say, good in victory as well. Where did you go?
I went the 2-horse, Magic Punk. Now, where did you go?
I went to the 5-horse, Cambridge Hanover. I'm hoping he can continue to get better.
You're always one step ahead of me, John. So we're going to show 2 replays. We're going to show Magic Punk with Dexter Dunn, and then we're going to show Ardon, the other division winner, with Scotty Z with him. Cambridge Hanover, he's going to finish second to Ardon, and the first thing I said to John is, oh my goodness, is this thing ever starting to come around? And I almost was going to go that route, but I watched the replays again, and I just love the way that this guy moves along. And I talked to Dexter briefly about him, and he really, really likes him. So Magic Punk is the way that I'm going to go in here for the Ocas Fonstead. And let's take a look at Ardon for Megan Scran and Scotty Z. Nice effort by this guy as well. He's the one, ends up getting the job done. But watch Cambridge Hanover in here too, driven by Dexter Dunn. He is going to look some good in here as well for Dunn and Andrew Harris. And Andrew Harris is off to a really good year this year, John. Nice to see. And so here we go. We're going to get Ardon, Scotty Z setting up in his office there, coming from off the pace. Dexter Dunn with Cambridge Hanover right up alongside of him. And, Scotty's going to get the job done, but just going to get the job done. This guy just seems to keep getting better and better, this 5-horse. And tonight he's going to be driven by Todd McCarthy. You can't get Dexter Dunn. Let's get me a McCarthy. So they got themselves a Todd McCarthy.
A guy who's been sitting behind him over the last couple of tries prior to that elimination. Todd McCarthy gets reacquainted with this colt. And, I got a chance to speak to Andrew Harris as well. And they just said they've been trying to kind of teach this colt along. And you can kind of see that with some of his efforts as well. Said that, they opened him up just so he can see the horses a little bit better. But they did keep the lid on him a little bit just so he can kind of be a bit more quiet, just start to kind of develop and mature. And as Andrew pointed out, their job is to kind of, teach him and mature him a little bit as well. So they've done a really good job over the last few starts. And I think he's coming into this final really, really sharp. And listen, you first over trip, a tough effort there. You still get rewarded with a pretty good draw to work with. So I think this is a colt coming in sharp at the right time.
Cambridge Hanover, just to quickly put it out there too, because I don't get to see this often, so I'm saying it anyway. $1.388 million baby at Harrisburg. Woo! Wouldn't that be something there? Yeah. Shell out $1.4 million for a baby. And it looks like they're going to have themselves a nice horse. Best of luck, you guys.
All right, half brother to Maryland. We've said it a few times over the week. So this is a big opportunity for him, in a big stakes event. All right, nice group of colts there that we've got in that William Wellwood Memorial Final. Best of luck to everybody participating in all these stakes action all evening long. And we've also, we've got some great racing, but we need to, try and deliver some winners here from the wagering standpoint as well. And you've got a pick 5 ticket that you're going to provide, and if you can get through the first 4 legs,
could it be this easy, John?
You're a winner.
Could Paco make it this easy, John?
Well, let's see. You talk us through your ticket. You have a great shot, though. I will say that. I mean, all your horses that you've got here, they're strong. Cheap ticket, $9. That's
$9. Yeah. We play a 20 center for what?
$2. 180, not even.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so race number 1, I'm going to single All-Star Maniac. And then race number 2, I'm singling Bojangles. Race number 3, it's back to single, and that's going to be the 6-horse Nautical Hanover. There's the separator, my friend. Race number 4, the 5-horse Naughty Delight. And then race number 5, I'm alling that race. Now, there's a lot of horses I do like in here. Irvin Hanover, Sabonis, they're going to be tough, but this is a real nice field. So Randall is going to look for a price in that last leg.
I'm not going as cheap as you, but mine costs just $3 more. But I'm going to have a couple of the same singles as you. I'm going to go all in on the 1-horse Bojangles. I'm going to go all in on the in race 3, the 6-horse Nautical Hanover. I'm going to go all in on Day. I think that, you know what, maybe I'm going to regret not using Naughty Delight, but I'm opting to take a stand and hope that she can bounce back. I'm going to go 4 deep in that last elimination, though. I know I like Irvin Hanover like you, but I think some of these other horses can pop up with a big effort. I don't want to go all in on All-Star Maniac, even if I do think he's the best colt right now. We do see D.A. Loveboat. He's going to be reunited with Yannick Gingras. And that to mark of 48 and 4 that he took at Lexington, Yannick was sitting behind him. So maybe he can get the most out of him here in this spot tonight, or maybe they can have some similar success, I should say. But Joel and the Jets, I think that's a Doc Moore train who's coming into this event sharp. So there's some different ticket ideas that you and I are going to throw out there.
The Joel and the Jet one's interesting too, because he's going to go from blind to blind with holes. Interesting.
All right, so there's a look at a couple of different ticket ideas as we get set here for race number 1. But before we get set to the action, we're going to go outside and get ready for the national anthem.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if I could direct your attention to the Mohawk Park Winner's Circle, where we welcome Rob Hewlett to Mohawk Park for the singing of our national anthem. Rob is an active community volunteer using his musical talent to sing at many events, including seniors' homes, the Milton Senior Center, and Santa Claus parades. Rob also sings at the 3 Remembrance Day ceremonies in Milton and MCs at local festivals and events. He received the Volunteer of the Year Award from the Milton Chamber of Commerce in 2021, and he was awarded the Volunteers Award by the provincial government, the Queen's Jubilee Award from the federal government, and recently has been nominated for the King Charles Coronation Award. Rob is thrilled to be sharing his passion with you tonight, and we are thrilled to have Rob here. If you are able at this time, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Let's hear it for Rob, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here at Mohawk Park as we are getting close to kicking off this stakes-filled Saturday night. Here are the plays of the night.
All right, Randy, you are on the hook here as we go through your plays of the night before we kick off this 13-pack.
Okay, we're going to start it off in race number 3, and that's going to be Beat the Favorite, and that's going to be Nautical Hanover. In race number 8, we're going to have Worth a Look, and that's going to be Captain Luke. Race number 9 is going to be Waples Watch, Sangria Summer, and my all-in was going to be race number 13, but unfortunately, we're going to have a scratch of Century Lucifer.
One that was pretty good last week.
Oh,
well.
Yeah, but you know something? The horse that's beside him in that race that now has the rail, I think he could come up with a pretty big effort. I had him in for second anyway.
Absolutely there. And I'm going to agree with you on Nautical Hanover. My spot play tonight, race number 3, my beat the fave is going to be the 4-horse Adina Hanover in race 9. My worth a look, Cold Creek Queso in race at number 12, and my repeat backup plan. He did it so easy last time. All right, there's our thoughts there on some plays of the night. We're going to have some other resident handicappers, and we're going to see their thoughts throughout this program as well and see what they have on tap as well. Ghislaine Paquette, Nautical Hanover. All right, that's 3 of us that are in agreement.
Pay attention, he says.
Pay attention. Kevin Plouch, a Ruthless Hanover, his spot play here. Good draw, and he's got a horse driver that might want to try and take him down the road here in this spot. And Garnet Barnsdale spot play, Irvin Hanover. You and I like that as well. All right, we're going to get set here, and they're going to come out on the track shortly as we get set for a busy, stakes-filled Saturday night. Best of luck.